Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts. I was guided to do this reading here for the collective. This is general as always, so please take from it what makes sense for you, release what doesn't. And these are both of my decks. The first one is called Voices, focused on the divine masculine energy, and Voices 2, of course, focused on the feminine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some dialogue messages from each deck, and then let's go ahead and take a look at the energy. So let's start off with the divine masculine here and see what are the words from this masculine. What is it that this person wants to be able to convey, and whatever is in their heart space. Let's go ahead and tap into it. So for those of you focused on the divine masculine, let's see what needs to come through. All right, this is the first one. There could never be another you for me. Wow, let's grab two more. These could all go together or they could be separate messages. I watch you sleep sometimes in awe of what I've been blessed with. To have you as my life partner, always and forever. A dream once envisioned that finally came true. I mean, these could certainly go together where somebody really feels that you're the one for them. They could watch you sleep. That could also be something that you did for this person, okay? And the next card, I do love you. I'm just not very good at telling you or showing you. So if this person has issues with expressing themselves, maybe you don't quite know or understand where they're coming from or how they feel about you fully. So let's go ahead and explore that separately, okay? So this is still focused on the masculine, of course. Let's start off with there could never be another you for me. So I'll be pulling from my Yummy Tarot for this one. All right, focusing on the masculine. Angels and spirit guides, please. What's going on with this connection? We've got the Ten of Pentacles. We could have a masculine who could be quite established, maybe in their finances, their career. But the Ten of Pentacles also reminds me of two people who are a very good match. It does represent security in the relationship. So let's see. They could also be very focused on maybe their material possessions, but I feel when it comes to this person, they want to be able to invest in the relationship as well. There could never be another you for me. What else? Focused on this connection. Look at that. So for some of you, maybe this masculine realized only after they lost you what you represented in their life, what you represent in their heart, because we clearly see with the Three of Swords that they probably hurt you, they broke your heart. It could also be a scenario where you guys went into separation and they threw all of their energies into work, their career. They could be doing great as far as how they're doing with their finances. That could be going quite well. But as far as the actual relationship, the romantic partnership with you, the love connection, there's a lot of healing that needs to happen here. There could have been a third party, could have been a love triangle. Look at this. We also have the Fool that is followed by the Nine of Pentacles as well as the Knight of Wands. So I feel this could have been a masculine who either took you for granted. They could have been in and out of your life. There could have been other people in the picture. Again, they could be quite successful financially, monetarily. They could have everything that they could have ever hoped for, career-wise, money-wise, finances, all of that. You know, the fancy cars, the big house, all of that. They could have it all. But the one thing that seems to be missing for this masculine is the divine feminine. And they want to be able to start again. Look at this. We have the Four of Swords. So definitely clarifying for this first message that you guys are probably in separation. There was this need to go your separate ways, and maybe divine feminine, if you relate to this scenario, you needed some time to yourself. You needed to heal from this broken heart. And maybe the masculine needed that as well. Look at this. We've got the Six of Wands that is followed by the Six of Cups. So going back to what we're seeing here with the Nine of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, they could be self-sufficient. They could be financially well off. They could be successful, but they're thinking about you. You see, this is somebody who has connected with you in the past, and there's something tied into these happy memories, and there's something missing, I feel, for this person, because more than likely you're not with them at this point. Yeah, you guys had a Tower moment. Look at this, followed by the Death card. It did end. It could have ended painfully. It could have ended unexpectedly, but I feel this was necessary for this masculine to have experienced this with you, Divine Feminine, because if they took you for granted before, boy, did they learn that lesson, to not take you for granted ever again. If you guys are ever gonna get back together, if there's even the opportunity to come back together. I feel they've changed. I feel at this point they're a very different person from the person that ended up hurting you. Look at this. We have the Star that is followed by the Empress, you see? So we do have a masculine seeing you in this way, Divine Feminine. Some of you could be Divine Feminine Taurus. We also have Aquarius coming through here. Yep, so it's pretty intense the way this is representing itself for this very first card that we're focused on. They are still hoping and wishing for a new beginning here with you, Divine Feminine. That's what we're getting from that message. There could never be another you for me. I feel they needed to learn that, and they had to lose you in order to realize that. That's what I'm getting from there. So hopefully, if you give this person a second chance to be able to start again, then this is no longer a factor, especially if there was infidelity and third-party situations. All right, so our second card, I watch you sleep sometimes in awe of what I've been blessed with. All right, so you are definitely a blessing for this individual. I'll be pulling from my Valentine Connection Tarot here. And maybe they think of you or they dream about you when they're sleeping. They want you as their life partner. So I feel this is a dream that already came through. But if you guys are in separation, I feel that they could be dreaming about you at this point. All right, what's happening here? Yeah, that cycle has completed, okay? But there's also a very positive energy that comes from this, because whatever happened before, can't do anything about that. It's in the past, which is why that cycle has completed. So it does make room for a new beginning, perhaps, or a new cycle to give you guys a second chance at love here. We do have the Lovers. You could be dealing with a Gemini. You could be the Gemini. I feel there's somebody here who loves you, who wants to make different choices. The chemistry, the love, the attraction, it's still here. Nine of Wands. Nine of Pentacles. Look at this. And now we see the Tower. We see the Four of Cups. That combination along with the Hangman. All right, so if this relates to your situation, you probably ended things with this person, or something happened and you guys separated, because we do have the Tower coming through here. But somebody let go. Either they let go to pursue someone else or something else, or you did. I feel with the Four of Cups coming through as well, maybe they're single at this point. They're thinking about you, dreaming about you. Those dreams could turn into nightmares, especially if they're just stressing out over how to possibly fix things. Nine of Pentacles is coming through again. So I feel somebody could be quite successful in that regard. You know, maybe they have their own business, financially well off, but something's missing here, and that's something, someone, could be you, certainly. Depending on when this happened, maybe too much time has passed, because with the Four of Cups, it could be a missed chance. It could be a missed opportunity at this point, you know? We've got the Ten of Wands. So I do feel this person has been overwhelmed, overloaded, as we can see. Maybe they've taken on too much. And similar to what we saw in the first message, that maybe they're throwing all of their time and energy into work, their career. But the one thing truly that's coming through for me that they are missing is the love and your presence in their life. Wow. We've got the Magician. Look at this card. All right. So they're fixated on their wealth. We see that with the Four of Pentacles. They could be the type of person too that could have been maybe very controlling, overly frugal, possessive. That could have contributed to why you guys broke up. So that makes sense for me, how they would be fixated on money rather than what was happening in their love life, because they missed the opportunity. They missed the chance to be with you, but they are really wanting to manifest here. They've manifested finances. That seems to be coming through, but that's not everything. You know, there has to be balance. And they created a situation that somehow took that away from them. We do have the Ten of Cups, so I feel that this is what's missing, because they focused so much on their wealth, their finances, the material things, and not so much the important things in life, which is love, which is being able to share this wealth with somebody. So I'm feeling with this person, they could be quite lonely, thinking about you, missing you. This is interesting. Nine of Swords, fear, anxiety. So what makes it interesting is going back to the very first message, our focus message for this one. I watch you sleep sometimes. So there's the reference to sleep. There's the reference to the dream that came true, but it could have also been a dream that they missed out on because of decisions that they made, poor choices that they made. And the Lover's card is about those choices. And I feel they have some regrets here over what they have done in the past, you know? And so right here, talk about the nightmares, right? The Nine of Swords can represent that. It's that anxiety. It's feeling hopeless somehow. So it's a bit of a challenge for this person. They could be feeling depressed as well. So some challenges for sure. Let's see what else here. We do have the Strength card. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo also. Or this could be a masculine who's struggling to find the courage to reach out. Maybe they're thinking that you would ultimately reject them. That's a possibility. Look at this. We've got Five of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles. So they were juggling their priorities, or they maybe could have been very wishy-washy. They couldn't make up their mind what they wanted. Didn't make you a priority, maybe. They are struggling. We see that with the Five of Pentacles, struggling in as far as the separation and not having you in their life. We do see the conflicts here with the Five of Swords. So Five of Swords can certainly represent that mentality where they got to win at all costs. Well, they're winning when it comes to money, their material possessions and all that, but they're losing as far as the relationship, losing you. And I feel that's the heaviness that they are carrying with them because of the poor choices that they have made. And so they have all of these regrets because you're not in their life. That's just what I'm feeling with this one. So many regrets. This could be an ex-partner who brought in some drama or got you mixed up in drama. There could have been third-party situations here, and now they're hoping and wishing and dreaming that you guys could maybe have a second chance, but I feel they've missed out on that for some of you. All right, so let's grab our last Divine Masculine message. I do love you. I'm just not very good at telling you or showing you. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab some tarot here. This time I'll be pulling from my Illuminated Star Tarot, Volume 2. I've actually revised this one, so it's now available in my deck shop. So they love you, but they need to work on communication here. All right, let's see. Two of Wands, future planning, making decisions. We've got the Nine of Cups. Look at this. We've got the Moon. We've got the Tower. And we have the Four of Cups again. My gosh. Five of Cups. So it seems that with the Divine Masculine energy that's coming through here for this reading, there are definitely some challenges. We're seeing Tower moments. You know, this relationship that fell apart and it lost its foundation for some reason. And I feel that has a lot to do with either infidelity or poor choices that were made with the energy of the Moon. There was definitely deception going on here. Something was being hidden, perhaps, and it created a separation. And it wasn't just a simple, let's go our separate ways. This was a very painful parting of the ways. Could have resulted in some very painful words that were expressed, perhaps, maybe by you, Divine Feminine, because we see here that this Divine Masculine, as it says, they just weren't very good at telling you how they felt, what needed to be expressed. And now that you guys are more than likely at a distance from each other, they have a lot of regrets because here we are with the Four of Cups. Once again, the apathy, they've got a lot of time on their hands, I feel. The disconnectedness between the two of you. And if they're single right now, they could also be just kind of going through the motions of what life represents for them right now. They could be single. I feel this also represents a missed chance, a missed opportunity to come back together. Five of Cups, very difficult vibe right there. Grief, loneliness. They've got these old wounds that needs to be addressed. Wow, look at this. Five of Pentacles. Once again, somebody is struggling, and we are focusing on the Divine Masculine here. So for this particular scenario, they feel isolated. They feel left out of your life, Divine Feminine. Fives can be very challenging, you know. Look at these cards. 10 of Swords. Right next to that Tower. This was a painful ending, guys. It fell apart because a masculine just didn't put in the effort to let the feminine know the value that the feminine held in the partnership. Maybe, Divine Feminine, you feel like your masculine just took you for granted, didn't treat you right. There could have been third-party situations here, you know, because with the Moon's energy, something was being hidden. It was kept from you. They could have lied to you. They kept secrets, which explains why we've got the Two of Swords, because there's nothing happening here. It seems to be at a stalemate, okay, because there is this stagnant energy that's representing itself, okay? They missed out on this 10 of Cups with you, Divine Feminine. And of course, this is such a beautiful card coming through. Love, marriage, family, happily ever after, dreams coming true. Everything that they could have had with you, but they blew it. They blew it. Some of you guys, take this if it makes sense, you could have been married to your person here, but this could have resulted in a divorce or a legal separation for some of you. You could have also had children together. You know, it was challenging. We do have the Ace of Swords. So perhaps it could have been a situation where the masculine, once again, needed to lose the feminine in order to gain this clarity, because there's this need to cut something out. And if that was infidelity, if that was a third party, they needed to cut that out. But maybe they came to that realization a little bit too late, and they missed out. Truly, they've missed out on the chance for this kind of happiness with the divine feminine. Wow. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Ace of Cups. They want a new beginning with you. This is what they recognize at this point, what it is that they need to bring to the table. You know, to be just as invested in the relationship as you are, divine feminine. But what I'm ultimately feeling for this one is, regardless of the love that they have for you, it cost them dearly because they held back. They held themselves back from truly telling you that they love you, that they care for you, that you are their number one priority. They realized this too late. Too late. And it hurt them big time. Huge, huge lesson. But they clearly want to start again. They want a new beginning with you, whether that's possible or not. And they're focused on being able to rekindle the partnership, to be able to manifest a new beginning with you. It's your call, divine feminine. You know, so that seems to be a common theme for the divine masculine energy. That's just the way it presented itself here. They needed to learn lessons, and in a way they ruined their opportunity at finding real love, or actually they found real love in you, but just didn't take advantage of the opportunity to really go the distance. That's what I'm getting there. All right, so let's focus on the divine feminine now. So the Voices 2 deck. So these two decks, of course, they go together, focusing on both the masculine and the feminine. So divine feminine, let's take a look at that energy now. So let's pull 3 cards like we did for the masculine, and we will clarify them. All right, that's 1. There's 2. Stop comparing me to her. Wow, okay. I want you, only you. Let's grab one more. Ooh, we've got 2 coming out. Let's grab them. Heaven is being in your arms, in your heart, in your soul, in your bed. I always thought I knew what this whole concept of falling in love felt like until I met you. Wow. So we've got 4 messages here for the feminine. Take whichever one you feel represents your situation. So this one, of course, it says her, but you know, I'm focusing on energy. So divine feminine energy can be male or female. Take it how it makes sense gender-wise, as always. All right, so let's start with that one, and let's see what we can find out about that. I'll be using my Tarot Teacher. This is the revised edition. Stop comparing me to her or him. Let's see. We've got the 6 of Swords. There's definitely a situation that is in need of healing here. Calmer waters that, you know, that part of the journey needed to move forward towards. Perhaps, you know, this is what needed to happen, or if you relate to this situation, you just had to move on, okay? Because this is about leaving something or someone behind. So if you felt, for example, if you happen to be divine feminine female, and this is what you're wanting to say to your masculine, okay, stop comparing me to her. Or of course, you know, I'm just putting it out there. It could of course be however way you need it to be, as I've mentioned, gender-wise. But this comparison is ultimately what hurt the situation. Nobody wants to be compared to an ex or anyone else for that matter. We do have the World. So this cycle is probably in the past at this point. We do have the Emperor representing the divine masculine here. Some of you could be dealing with an Aries. I feel this is the masculine letting the feminine know that they are really wanting to do something about this situation, or maybe to resurface in your life, divine feminine, wanting to bring this back together, wanting to fix things, take control of the situation. We do have the Magician. Some of you guys could be Gemini or Virgo. That is what that card represents. Regardless of signs, though, this is about manifestation. And perhaps this person at this point feels that you are their ideal mate. Or maybe that's something that you've always known, that you guys were a good match. But if they were comparing you to somebody else, that is not a good feeling, you know? So I feel it's the masculine who wants to reconcile with the feminine here. But it did result in a breakup more than likely. We do have the Death card. We have Scorpio coming through, the end of a cycle. That is clearly indicated by that card. It failed. And we know why it failed. And in order to make this work, there are some changes that need to be implemented in this connection. And the way it's coming through, it falls on the divine masculine's shoulders to be able to make it up to the feminine. Yep. So it is possible for this relationship to revive itself, I feel. But there's work that needs to happen here. We've got the Six of Pentacles, equal give and take, sharing a life, being able to give as much as we receive. And I feel, again, that's something that the masculine perhaps needed to learn, because if we're comparing somebody to someone else, that's bringing a third element into the relationship, whether it was a third party or whether it was simply a theoretical discussion, you know, about an ex, perhaps. We do have the masculine coming in as the King of Cups as well. Caring, loving, strong, calm, compassionate, emotionally balanced, diplomatic, affectionate. It says good husband, father figure, mature, compassionate male, but it could also be female, okay? This is somebody whose heart is open to loving. We do have the Ace of Wands coming through as well. So this is a masculine, the way it's coming through here, who wants a new beginning with the divine feminine. They're feeling lost. They're feeling sad because you guys are in separation. So many regrets that we are seeing here. They know that they contributed to the breakup, but with the Two of Cups coming through, they clearly still love you dearly. We've got the Fool coming in. Some of you could also be Aquarius, dealing with an Aquarian perhaps. So they want to be able to have this new beginning with you. They want to be able to have more adventures with you, divine feminine. Let's see what else. Oh my goodness. Here we are again with the Four of Cups. That's a very prominent message that's coming through for the readings here. And it could also be a situation where it is a missed chance. That is a part of the interpretation of this card. There's a lot of regret tied into this message for somebody because they were compared to someone else that person either was with, or maybe they had a particular type that they were into, whatever the case might have been, and it hurt someone. It hurt the feminine. Whoever represents the divine feminine energy, it was very hurtful, I feel. We have the Four of Pentacles. So divine feminine, if this is something that you encountered in your relationship with your masculine, for example, that could have certainly made you feel very jealous, okay? Because of that type of conversation where you were being compared to somebody else. That is ultimately what is coming through here. And we have a person who regrets their actions. You could have also been dealing with somebody who was very possessive or controlling. Yeah. We've got the Five of Swords. So I feel, and it could have been the divine feminine, since we are focusing on the feminine energy for this reading, it could have been the feminine who walked away from the masculine. And that is why it came to an end. That is why we're seeing that Death card right here. And also why we're seeing the Emperor wanting to come in and change things and do something about the separation. So the Three of Cups could be an indication of a reunion and kind of hitting the reset button to start again. That is divine feminine if you are open to it, because it's going to require both of you being on the same page and for you to be able to be open to your masculine returning and resurfacing. Okay, so I feel at this point they recognize that they made a mistake and might have said very hurtful things to you, but they're really wanting to fix things here if you would be willing to give them the chance. Otherwise, with that Four of Cups, it's a done deal. They have their regrets. They're going to have to live with it. And you guys would just simply move on. Okay, so that's what's coming through there. That was intense. Okay, so let's see if we can actually avoid that Four of Cups. We have I want you and only you. So let's grab some messages once again. Let's see what deck I want to use this time. I'm going to pull from my Tabby Tarot Teacher this time. All right, here we go. I want you, only you. But did they realize that too late? Let's see. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Somebody has a particular goal in mind. I feel they're very passionate about you. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We've got the King of Pentacles followed by the Four of Cups, guys. So we do have a masculine coming in as the King of Pentacles, which is a great energy. Some of you could be dealing with a divine masculine Virgo. So I feel they've established themselves, you know, they're successful in their own way. I have a feeling, though, that we might have a situation with somebody where they were not faithful at one point in time. And now that they're in a much better place in their life, you know, maybe they're quite established, as I've mentioned, career, finances could be going great. You know, the Eight of Pentacles could also be representing high standards, maybe in their work environment, they're doing fantastic. But as far as the relationship itself, we have disconnectedness and more than likely a separation, because this person, here we go again with the regrets and lots of time on their hands to be able to think about you. And now they're realizing, I want you, only you. But maybe they made some poor choices here and that created a breakup, you know, and they could be single at this point. They could have or be able to afford all the finer things in life. But As far as love, that could be the one thing that is missing. Have they missed the chance to be with you, Divine Feminine? They could also be fantasizing about you. Here is our World card again. Wow, so they certainly have accomplished a lot in their life. It's just the love part that's missing, I feel. So it came to an end for a reason, because they just weren't investing fully in the relationship, I feel. Six of Cups, you see, they're feeling nostalgic. They're thinking about you. Wow. They want a reunion. Plain and simple, they want a reunion. They're taking on too much with the Ten of Wands coming through here. So they could be burnt out because they're working too much. They're burning the candle at both ends, you know, but they could have also taken you for granted, Divine Feminine. And that's in and of itself this heaviness that they've been carrying around with them as well. They made their choice, and I feel they now recognize that they chose the wrong path. And so with the Two of Wands presenting itself here, life is giving them another chance to make different decisions and to have a different outcome for their future. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to be able to manifest a reunion with the feminine that they left behind. You know, whether it was for somebody else or they wanted to dedicate all of that time towards their career or other things. Wow. Seven of Pentacles, a card of perseverance, hard work that pays off. We already know that their hard work paid off in their work environment. That clearly is coming through here. But what it is that they really want to focus on is the opportunity to have a reconciliation with the feminine. And that simply will take time. If it's not too late, that is. Six of Pentacles, we keep seeing that one too. You know, equal give and take, giving, receiving. They could have been very generous to other people of their time, of their presence with other people. It could have been family, it could have been friends, it could have been co-workers, but not when it came to the one person that mattered. I want you, only you. But I really do feel they came to this realization too late. Teamwork. They needed to learn that lesson. Once again, it keeps going back to what they've achieved already. They're a hard worker. We see that. But they just didn't put in that effort into their love life. You see? Ten of Pentacles. Unexpected financial windfall, financial stability, security, all of that. They achieved it. But when it comes to love, they now recognize that they're going to have to invest a whole lot more into that part of their life in order to bring in stability. They feel that bond with you. I feel they always have, but they just put it on the back burner. And look at this. Now they've gone through their awakening with the Judgment card. I feel this is somebody who will eventually reach out to you, Divine Feminine. That doesn't mean this is somebody that you want to talk to, but they will resurface. This could be an ex that you disconnected from a long time ago, maybe. They could be super successful, but the one thing that's missing is you. There could be an apology here because of how they treated you. And it's up to the Divine Feminine here. It's up to you, Divine Feminine, whether or not they will have the opportunity to be a part of your life ever again. Look at that. Here's our Death card. Here's our Nine of Swords. Here's our Two of Swords. So it's stagnant for a reason. It ended for a reason. And so I feel this masculine has had to go through this pretty intense transformation to be a different person from this individual who distanced themselves and hurt you, perhaps. Nine of Swords. They're having some insomnia, perhaps. They could be staying up late at night thinking about you, dreaming about you. Yep. this hasn't been easy for them, but I also feel that they've been keeping those emotions pushed down. You know, what I mean by that is they could be at work, they could be put together, they could be on top of the game as far as how they handle themselves in a work capacity. But at home, when they're alone, behind closed doors, late at night, they're not doing so well. Bottom of the deck, we've got Two of Cups. So they can't run away from how they feel. And the bottom line is they love you. They still are hoping for a future with you. Because when you guys were together at one point in time, you were very compatible. You guys could be soulmates or maybe twin flames for some of you. But for now, it's stuck. It's up to them to be able to create this progress, this movement, and it starts with communication. I feel that will eventually come in. And then we have the Ace of Cups, the love, the intimacy that they want to be able to experience with you again. They still feel that connection. No matter how long it's been, they want a new beginning with you. They continue to hold on to the hope that that's a possibility. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's what came through there. Let's grab our third message. Some pretty intense things coming through. All right, now we've got heaven is being in your arms, in your heart, in your soul, in your bed. So the sexual chemistry could have been pretty intense between the two of you as well. All right, so let's grab some tarot once again. This one's my Illuminated Star Tarot. This one's volume 1. It as well has been revised. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we can bring forward for this one. Heaven is being in your arms. Look at this. The Emperor. The Judgment card, which we've just seen. Look at this. We now have the Empress. So once again, there's the possibility towards a resurfacing of either the masculine or the feminine, but we are focusing on the divine feminine energy. So divine feminine, it could be that we have a masculine who will reach out to you. We've already talked about this one. They've had a lot of time to reflect, past influence over what happened. They have gone through their awakening, perhaps. This has been one heck of a journey for the masculine. You know, they recognize perhaps some of the mistakes that they've made before. They still see you as the person that they would love to be able to explore the future with, divine feminine. Now, take this if it applies. Some of you could have been married. You could certainly feel like this person is your divine counterpart, but something more than likely created a wedge between the two of you. That does not always have to be infidelity. It doesn't always have to be a love triangle or third parties. Whatever it was might have created some challenges here. And the next card is the Five of Swords, representing those challenges. All right, so going back to what I mentioned earlier, to win at all costs, it could represent unbridled ambition for some people. It could also represent somebody who's sneaking around. We do see conflict, okay, competition. If there was competition here, then that created issues between the two of you. We do have the Hangman. So one of you let go, or it could have been you, divine feminine. You might have detached from your masculine, and now we've got the masculine wanting to return to prove to you that they really do want to be able to make amends here. Look at that. We see the Tower once again. Something chaotic or disastrous happened here between the two of you. Now, if it was cheating, if it was someone's loyalty that was questioned, then perhaps that's why this occurred and why maybe divine feminine, you decided to walk away. We have the Two of Wands resurfacing here. we've got the Magician, we've got the Lovers. All right, so we do see Gemini coming through, Virgo as well. Two of Wands, it really does present you with a couple of paths, and you both have your own free will to go whatever direction you want. And the key here to bring you guys back together on the same path is to be able to choose each other once again. I feel that starts with this Judgment card, because it really starts with an apology, I feel. I'm just getting here, Divine Feminine, that you probably did get hurt by this masculine due to whatever these conflicts were, because the Lovers card could also represent that type of energy with a love triangle or a third party sometimes. You know, yes, the chemistry is there, the attraction, the love that we talked about earlier. You know, going back here, it's like, I want to be in your arms, in your heart, in your soul, in your bed. But I have a feeling for some of you that someone else was in that bed that shouldn't have been. You know, somebody clearly made some choices here that were not coming from the best of intentions. And the Magician could also represent this trickery. And so there was some sneakiness going on here. So I feel, and I'm just instinctively getting, it could be from the masculine really wanting to manifest a much more better outcome here for the two of you. And we have the Hierophant, so some of you could be dealing with a Taurus. I feel at this point, this is representing their intention to fully commit to the relationship, that they are wishing for this, that they're hoping for this, Divine Feminine. You could also be dealing with Aquarius. Okay, so I feel they're being guided back to you somehow, but they could very easily run into a blockage, Divine Feminine, if you're not going to allow them back into your life, into your heart, into your soul, into your bed, you know, however way you see that. Nine of Swords, and we see the Seven of Swords. So this is clarifying that for some of you, there was cheating going on here. And we already see with the Nine of Swords that they're going through this type of anxiety where they can't sleep, you know, insomnia, nightmares, hopelessness. They're going through all that because of this betrayal. But they brought that on themselves. And so no wonder we're seeing a Tower card come through here. Let's see what else. Yeah, see, we've got the Ten of Swords. Tower, Ten of Swords. We saw that earlier in one of the other messages, okay? It failed. It collapsed. It hurt like hell. Wow. And for sure, the Four of Swords is needed here, because after you go through so much and so much pain and disappointment and heartbreak, you do need time to recover from that, to recuperate from that type of experience. Maybe at this point, you guys are clearly separated. I see that here, but maybe you're not in other relationships. Maybe you're single and just really needing time to yourself. Yeah, this was a very painful breakup. We do see the Six of Cups again. So they're thinking about you, Divine Feminine. This is a masculine who seems to be stuck in the past, thinking about you and wanting to have a reconciliation, wanting that reunion. Yeah, we've got the full. They want that new beginning. They just have to find the courage to be able to take action to make this happen. And again, that does not guarantee union. We've got the Moon right here, so it does clarify that they were deceptive, that they hid things, but they're very much in their fears about this situation. Maybe they're afraid of rejection. I am getting that. And it's too bad, you know, because at one point in time, you guys had it all, I feel. I feel for my Divine Feminines, you can certainly still find your happiness, either on your own or through finding new love, going in a different direction. Because, of course, this represents you being able to obtain that ultimate happiness for yourself. in order for you and your masculine to get here, they're going to really have to clear this very clear path, for lack of a better word, for you guys to come back together. But you both have to want that. You have to be on the same page. This is not an easy thing to recover from, that Three of Swords. It's grief. It's a broken heart. Heartbreak, love triangle, third parties. That is, if that was the case for some of you. Clearly, somebody had way too many options. We see choices, fantasies, temptation. Okay, somebody was tempted by somebody else, perhaps. They had it all, you know? Heaven is being in your arms. You guys felt like this was heaven blessed, heaven sent, perhaps, that type of love that you guys had shared at one point in time. And it could have been the masculine that made some mistakes here, some pretty major mistakes that created a tower. And this Three of Swords, Ten of Swords, lots of challenging messages coming through here. But it's not impossible to be able to overcome those things as long as you both are willing to do that, to come together in this way. So it really does come down to effort. It comes down to how you both ultimately feel and being able to overcome this very difficult situation. Okay, so that's what's coming through there. That was intense also. So there seems to be this theme in the messages, and we've only got one more card to go, where there were breakups, infidelity, some challenges, if it wasn't that. And there's always a chance to work it out, but you both have to be on board. You both have to be wanting the same things, you know, because if you guys are on different pages, it's going to be opposing each other and you guys are just going to clash. And it might ultimately create more animosity and drama. So you both have to be on board, as I've mentioned, and want the reconciliation, want to be able to work things out, overcome the struggles and the challenges. Okay, so last one. I always thought I knew what this whole concept of falling in love felt like until I met you. Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to go ahead and use my modern day Seer's Tarot and Oracle. Tarot with a twist. If you haven't seen me use this deck before, this is one that I created, which is just like all the tarot decks, but this one also includes oracle messages as well as additional court cards that are new, exclusive to this deck. All right, so let's go ahead and see. For the overall collective, for this last message for the Divine Feminine. All right. We've got the King of Wands in the reverse, okay? So you could have been dealing, maybe Divine Feminine, with a masculine who was impulsive. They could have been overbearing. They could have been ruthless. They could have also been the type to be a bully, a tyrant perhaps. They made promises that they couldn't keep. They could have been disloyal, okay? That could be how this person is feeling at this point. They didn't understand the whole concept of falling in love until you, and yet they just didn't have what it took to be faithful, perhaps. Oh, man. Okay. So take that if it makes sense. Some of you could have been dealing with a masculine fire sign, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Ace of Cups. So some of you might have already moved on after this experience. Maybe at this point, you're in a much better situation. You started over, you found love again. That's a possibility. But we could also have a masculine here who recognizes that they made a lot of mistakes and that they ultimately realize that you are the one that they want and they want a new beginning. Could be something like that. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. Some of you could be dealing with a younger divine masculine. Not necessarily a large age gap, but for some of you it could be. The Knight compared to the King is a much more, or a much less mature masculine perhaps. Nonetheless, very different energies, because the Knight of Pentacles is hardworking. They are loyal. They take responsibility for their actions. Very ambitious, as we can see, and they're also a very slow-moving individual. Slow, meaning that they're not really wanting to be in and out of your life. They're not just wanting to rush in and maybe just explore a physical connection. They want to be able to take their time to get to know you. So for some of you, you might have already moved on to somebody like that, because going back to the reverse King of Wands, if they tended to do things impulsively, then that's more of a faster, let's get together and get to know each other real quick type energy. But if their intentions just weren't the best, that could have also created some drama here. We do have the Five of Cups, okay? So I feel this is a masculine who recognizes the actions that they took, that they're sad about the fact that they lost you. This was not an easy thing for them to experience. Lots of regrets. That seems to be another common thing coming through in a lot of these messages. Lots of regrets. Let's see what else. We do see the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so this, of course, in a love connection could represent the security and stability. And perhaps you've already moved on and found that, Divine Feminine. Or you finally found love where they weren't the type to be unfaithful, which we see that with the Knight of Pentacles. So we are getting earth energy there for some of you. Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. You could also have connected with somebody who could be financially stable. But they're coming in with this solid offer of commitment. They're not messing around like the reversed King of Wands there. Look at this. We see the Seven of Swords in the reverse, and of course in the upright, that's deception, lies, cheating, betrayal, trickery, all of that bad stuff. So that doesn't necessarily mean just because it's in the reverse that they're not keeping secrets, because they still could, but it's also talking about someone who wants to come clean. They want to turn over a new leaf. They are rethinking their approach. You know, I mean, ultimately you have to trust your journey and your experience. If you're dealing with somebody who tends to be a serial cheater, for example, once a cheater, always a cheater, then my feminines, I really do feel this is somebody that you cut out of your life and you've already moved on. Either you're single and content, or you've moved on to a much better relationship. I'm also feeling, for some of you, this could be an ex who wants to reconnect with you, but they're just too much of a coward to reach out. I'm getting that for some of you. And this very well could go along with how they're feeling. You know, I always thought I knew what this whole concept of falling in love felt like until I met you. But they also blew it. And so they might have not realized this until after the fact. Look at this. We have the Star. We have the Empress. So this clarifies for me, Divine Feminine, that you were led down a very different path in order for you to find happiness, in order for you to be able to fulfill your wish and finding your ideal person. So with the Ace of Swords coming through here, you were able to gain your clarity. You had your aha moment. You were able to think clearly for yourself and to possibly cut out this masculine because of the way they either treated you, or again, there could have been infidelity here. Here's our Two of Wands. You decided to go a different direction. And perhaps at this point, you're in a much better place to be able to create a much better outcome and future for yourself. Okay. Here's our Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with a Virgo or maybe Divine Feminine. That's where you're at, especially if you're single at this point in time. Just taking time to reflect, you know, soul search. Plan your next course of action. I absolutely love how we've got Archangel Sophia coming up next. I am the angel of love. I can help you manifest a reconciliation with your beloved. Maybe that's how this masculine is feeling and needing that help. I can assist in efforts towards forgiveness and bring about a mutual understanding between you and your partner. I can show you the way to self-love and in finding the great love of your life. Call on me if you are looking to awaken your heart chakra. So take any part of that message that resonates with you. Do you want a reconciliation? Would you be open to forgiveness? Or are you just ready to move on? My feminines, you could also be focusing on your own desires at this point, what it is that you would want to manifest in your life. Perhaps financially, you're able to stand on your own 2 feet, okay? Or that is the type of person that you can attract. So with the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, if this is representing a divine masculine coming in for my feminines, then I feel this person could be slightly younger than you, or they have perhaps not lived as much life as you, or have experienced as much as you have, regardless of age, perhaps. But they're still quite successful. I feel this would be a good partner for you. We also have Archangel Daniel coming through here. I am the angel of marriage, so this could be for those of you who were married to this person who hurt you or cheated on you. Take that if it makes sense. But this card also says, I am the angel of marriage, union, and eloquence. I can help you attract love into your life to help you become the best version of yourself so you can be the ideal partner for your ideal partner. When you are fulfilled and whole within yourself, this paves the way for finding true love through another. I can help heal those who are going through a divorce or separation to reignite and maintain the spark in your partnerships. I'm here to help open your heart chakra. So both Archangel Sophia and Archangel Daniel are here to assist in however way you need that, especially with your heart chakra. All right, so some pretty interesting messages that presented itself here for each of those messages. So whichever one you were able to relate to most, hopefully that helped you out. All right, guys. So let's wrap it up with some final messages here. I'm guided to pull from... I like to end my readings with this particular deck by Sister Moon Tarot. It's a great deck. All right, let's see. In one of my videos from, God, quite a while back, and I use this quite often for personal client readings, and depending on the situation that comes through during a reading, there's this one card in this deck, and it says, free yourself. It never fails, and it always comes through in just the best time during a reading to give someone guidance, to let them know. It's like, look, you're not in the ideal situation you're supposed to be in. It's time to get out. It's time to free yourself. So if that comes through for this particular video, and maybe you, the viewer, need to really see it. So let's see, okay? All right, so I'm guided to pull 4. We have pleasure. Telling you, it keeps coming through during particular readings, and here it is, free yourself. Wow, this is the next message, pain and struggles, and the last one, doors. How fitting, guys. All right, let's read through this. Pleasure is never to be shamed. It's part of living a balanced life. Find ways to cultivate it, even if it's just your imagination. So, what I gather from that, especially with free yourself right next to it, if you are stressed out about a situation, whatever that might be, whether it had something to do with one of the messages that came through here today or something completely different, if something's stressing you out, especially where you can't wait to get out of that scenario and you can simply imagine being able to live or go in a different direction, you know, where you really can find happiness for yourself. I feel that's what this is talking about. And however way that pleasure needs to come through for you, okay, it's up to you how to be able to go after it, because nobody has the right to really stand in the way of you being able to experience that. But if there is something that's blocking you from being able to experience this type of pleasure in your life, this is what you need to do. This is your life. Don't live it restricted by your past or the opinions of others. It's time to write a new story. And for some of you, either you've already done that, good for you, or based off of some of the messages that we have seen here today, it's time. It's time to open up that door and get out, and perhaps open up a new door for you, you know, a new experience, a new chapter. Write a new story. It's time. Pain and struggles are just motivation to propel you into your God-given destiny and help you reach your potential. So we all go through it, whatever the struggle is, whatever the painful experience is. It's what you do with that experience. It's what you do with that lesson to find the potential in your own life. So I really love that these 4 cards came through in the way that it did, in the order that it did, because here we come towards this door. Which doors will you open? Which will you close? It's all your choice. It really is. Because as I've mentioned throughout this reading, you have your own free will to do with your life, with your choices, whatever it is that you would want to do. You can only turn that power over to somebody if you allow it. So now it's time for you to decide, based off of what you've seen in whatever scenario and message you were able to relate to, is it time to close the door on someone or something? Is it time to open up a brand new door, a new experience for you to find happiness, fulfillment in whatever part of your life needs it, whether that's love, whether that's finances, whether that's friendships, family, career, whatever it is. You should be in control of those choices, nobody else. And if someone has taken that from you, it's time to open that door and free yourself. All right, guys, so I will leave that there. I've been talking long enough. I just realized I've gone over an hour, but that's okay. I will timestamp these down below. And in order for you guys to just move on to the message that you want to watch, or hopefully you'll be able to watch the whole thing and be able to grab pieces of the message that makes sense for you. All right, guys, so that's it for now. If you're interested in your own personal reading, that information is down below as well as all the decks that were featured here today. And if you're interested in that, I'll provide the links for that as well. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.